firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree here, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff.
The snow is melting outside as things get warmer inside Arrington Ice Arena. As tonight we have a fiery Thursday night GLCHO matchup between the Calvin University Knights and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Hello everyone, my name is Alex Herman, joined alongside by Griffin Clark. Happy to have you all tune in here tonight on ACTV. These two teams have met before in the past. The last time was in the 2023 National Tournament, where the Bulldogs were able to best the Calvin University Knights by a score of 3-1. This should be an exciting one as we take to center ice for the opening face-off. 20 minutes up on the score clock. As we get a little delay on the draw there. Mateo DeGiulio sent out, and we are underway at the AIAs. We start things off, and a big hit right out of the gate from Cy Toth. Sebastian Smith will take this up ice, now to the center lane. Rips a shot wide to the blocker side. Good early chance. Now towards the front. Here's a chance for DeGiulio. Spins it up top. Right side point chipped off the board, stopped momentarily, and then taken away. It'll pile up on the blue line as it's tipped into the zone. Long stretch pass. Clears neutral ice. Now towards the far side blue. Recollected by Sabenga. Stopped on his entry, taken away. Here goes Mins. Right side wing, right-handed shot. Spins and pulls up. Gets tied up with an official in that corner. Dogs will look to dig it out here as the captain for Calvin picks up. Carlos Ciso, has a quick shot there, save from DeContney's. And another one sent on net. That was Sabenga. Didn't get too much time there to introduce the stream, but what are we looking for here tonight from the University of Calvin?
Calvin University really needs to focus on getting some offense from their top players tonight. As we've seen, top to bottom, not much of a differential and point getters here. So if you're Calvin, really focus on staying in offensive zone tonight.
Only 4 players for the Calvin University Knights have over 20 points this season. The Bulldogs on the other side have 8. So it'll be interesting to see where the puck is distributed to. Calvin skates into this game 4-1 in their last 5. Bulldogs 5-0. Good skill on both sides as Camilla tries to pick up. Nice pass now towards the front. Save made, it stays out. Ciso shuts the door with the pad. 2 minutes gone from the AIA. Justice will race up the right wing, spins a shot on, that one well wide. Slap shot there off the outside of the apron. Schomburger will go and tie up. Good pressure. Noah Main crunched hard into the boards. And it's Jagelski who stopped it for a moment.
Slides off back the other way on the defensive end. Chip high off the glass. It is not cleared out as a nice step up there from Aiden Adamick. We'll keep that puck in. This travels towards the front as the Cockneys will get the glove down on it.
As we know, Herms, Adrian, year in and year out with a very solid offensive core, and as we've seen at the start of this game, I don't know if you can really draw it up much better for Coach Darius Salos with very hard first couple shifts for the Bulldogs.
And these two teams, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the GLCHL, certainly have a spirited rivalry between one another. There has to be some bad taste in the mouth of Calvin from last year. As a quick shot sent over. What a save from Ciso as he robs DeJulio on the doorstep.
You know, Julio's going to want that one back right there. Herm, see that head to the rafters. What a really good save from the Calvin goaltender here.
Julio, one of those players you got to watch out for. Does an exceptional job in the locker room, leading his team. As another shot there, blockered aside. 38 points on the season for Mateo DeJulio in 25 games. 14 goals and 24 assists. As we get an icing call here with 16:47 left to go in the first period. Offensive zone draw for DeJulio is 1. McLaughlin with a shot. Tipped on the front. Stopped there from Ciso. Had to pick it up through traffic. This is DeJulio with some extended ice time. Gets to Smith. To one hand. Now towards the front. The wraparound. Scores! Speeding was Sebastian Smith. 100 miles an hour down I-80. And it's 1-0 Bulldogs.
As we just talked about, DeJulio with a great pass through neutral zone to Smith. Smith just breaking down the side with his speed. Real speed skater for the Bulldogs this season. Wow, does he really display that effort right there for the Bulldogs. Great goal.
Smith's 22nd goal of the season, paired with his 10 assists, 32 points, as he sits in 5th amongst his peers. This is another pass sent over to Allen, redirected, and a toe save made by Ciso. He's had to come up large and quickly in this game.
You know, Herms, I think one thing the Bulldogs have that not many teams carry or possess, you could say, is just multiple dual threats on the team. You know, we look at the Bulldogs top to bottom. You really just can't pick out one line that has one good player. We see them throughout all 4. And I think that's what really gives the Bulldogs the edge, and hopefully it will in this game as well.
This offensive line out for Adrian College, Sam Spates, Caleb Mins, and Hunter Allen. So you have the grad student experience in Spate. He's won a national championship before. Spends his 5th year here at Adrian College. Always a pleasure to be around him. The new addition in Hunter Allen. Played with the Oklahoma Warriors in the NAHL. And Caleb Mins, who's been an outstanding freshman so far this season. A real impact player for the boys in the yellow, black, and white. We continue on. David Dell will handle this pass up top, leaving off for Hatcher. Spun up top. Dell with the slap shot. Redirected. Save made by Ciso. Near side wing. Here's Hatcher. Tries to stick handle through a sea of bodies. Has it taken away from him as it's dumped in by Petrila. Bounce pass. Caught by Hatcher. A flipped backhand is on sides, but quickly taken out. Here goes Poole, right side. Shot redirected by Dell. Looked like he got a piece of it as it sent way up into the netting.
Player I'm really looking at this game as well as a newcomer you just talked about, Hunter Allen. Brings in a lot of grit, effort, and speed and talent to this Adrian Bulldogs team. I think he's going to fit in pretty well here. And as we just saw on that last shift with a great tip in front of the net.
Hunter Allen himself has even put up a couple of points in only the 3 games that he's played with the Bulldogs. 2 goals, no assists yet. But he's done a great job and played every game so far. David Dell ties up. Here's a quick shot. It's even at 1. The Knights strike at 14:31. It's Kyle Van Dusen.
That's a real comeback Calvin needed so far. Puck's really been in their end, as you can see in the first 5 minutes, and not a great play by the Adrian defense, and right time, right spot. That's all you can really ask for Calvin right here.
Puck got lost underneath the red line there, and some quick passing from Calvin, and they take advantage on the even strength attempt. Tied up at 1 with just about 6 minutes gone. And this is a team in Calvin, though ranked number 12, has picked up some big wins this season over teams like Ohio University and Purdue, who are ranked a little bit higher than they are. So you know this team can generate offense. It's just a matter of when they want to turn it on. McLaughlin will step off the blue, now down low. Generating some time, touched up by Adam Hurd. Sent out of the zone. Not enough force to be icing as Weidman will quickly send a pass up to Hunter Allen, who evades a hit there from Jagielski. Gajewski with a step up. Smith to chase it down. Good forecheck as he keeps things going. Gajewski getting tangled up in front with Jagielski. No whistle yet as this is ripped on. Nolan up top. Here's a shot. Blocked by a body in front. Lifted out. Schomburger will play it. Has Nolan as his D-man and partner. DiGiulio redirects it into the bench. As we'll take a pause. This one, we know that there's some history between these two sides. They played 3 times last season. Adrian won all 3 contests, including the 3rd extra game in the national tournament. So if you're Calvin, what's the mentality coming into this contest?
Win, 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 win. That last loss really has to have sit with them since that day, and if you're Adrian, you just want to keep taking it to him.
Caleb Mins to Allen, pulls up, blocker saved by Ciso, and the second time he had to poke it there, back underneath the red line. Now to the danger area in front, top of the crease is Caleb Mins. Driving for it is Allen. Bulldogs will have to restart. Sent back, and a D-to-D pass for Toth. Up for Allen, plays it on the backhand. Spates to help out on the left wing. Ripped up the wall. Calvin will take it the other way. Sabenga lost control of it. DeContney is gingerly playing it for a moment. Toth again, a long saucer pass. We'll see if this will get the distance for icing, but it's covered up on the near side post by Ciso. Ciso, a strong netminder this season for the Calvin University Knights. 11 games played, 177 GAA with his .928 save percentage. 9-2-0 through those games. So it's a netminder you know you can trust to win. And he gets the option here tonight. 1-1 deadlock here from Arrington Ice Arena. Long shot from Thornton was wide. The pickup from Riordan. Nice hit from Hatcher. Hatcher will get it here. Dangling. The backhand off the iron. Doesn't go. So close. Camilla. A backhand up top for Thornton. Plays it back to the wall. Now to McLaughlin. Long shot through traffic. I think Ciso got a piece of it there as it's rimmed back up top for McLaughlin. He fires again. Blocked by a body in front. Armstrong will try and keep it going. Good play there from Thornton along the wall. And it's Camilla who will loft the saucer. Hatcher with the stick down, trying to get in front of it. Schenkel looks to play it. A floater that crosses a couple of lines. Weidman with a nice pickup. Racing towards the front. Misplayed it off the outside of the nets. He'll mohawk his way around the offensive zone. Tipped in front. Here's Jammer down to one knee. Fans on the shot. To Cesare. Up top for Schomburger. Has to turn it away. Nolan will send it back down. Schomburger connects with Nolan. Now to Weidman. It's the last couple of games. Back in the lineup here tonight. Charles Riordan towards the front. A backhand save from DeContney's. Kicked it aside with the pad. Weidman. Dump and chase as he gets a line change. Poole mishandled it in front of the scorers table as we will get an icing call. Not before the Bulldogs were able to make a change.
I think real strong spot for the Bulldogs so far this game has been defense. Seen a number of chances up to the point, which the offense has really been doing a really good job of generating chances, trying to get open lanes to the net and using their defense. And with Nathaniel Mott being out with the recent injury for the Bulldogs, I think it's going to be very important to see how they respond with that and play in the defensive zone.
Mateo to Julio with a little shove there to Kyle Van Duzen.
Bit of a height differential there.
And Mateo de Julio, big guy, 6'3", 210 pounds versus Van Duzen's 5'8". Little lopsided in that matchup there.
Yeah, you can say that. I'm staying away from those hits.
Smith clears out as Poole will look to play it. Bounces up, looked like it was going to travel into the bench area, but doesn't. It's been interesting to see the past couple of minutes. Bulldogs haven't been able to start their breakouts as clearly, but Gajewski with a hard shot just sails high. Toth to Smith, center lane. Work to the outside, quick shot there. Ciso made the first one. The rebound, skitters wide. Some traffic in front. Bulldogs hounding that net front. Tied up and roped down to the right corner. Smith will jockey with his man. Julio comes away with it. Played in the feet of Gajewski. Nice stick handling from Gajewski as he keeps it in. Ciso tracks it all the way down off the stick and puts it towards the corner. Gajewski fires one wide to the blocker side. Played there. Knights will turn it the other way. Toth quickly to DeJulio as he's knocked down hard by Justice. Cramps with a shot. DeContney's got a piece of it, but didn't make it clean.
Justice standing at 6'2", may have found his match for the game. I think they might be trying to pair him up there and see if he can kind of take Julio off edge a little bit.
Well, I'd like to think the biggest thing for Calvin here in this game is to play physical. You can take away time and space when you're banging bodies. And although the Bulldogs are a physical team, sometimes they do have a tendency to get carried away. So if they can draw on that a little bit, might help them out in the long run.
And we've seen that a little bit so far. I think the last couple minutes of Julio playing the body on the wall kind of started that whole play for the Bulldogs, taking the defenseman off the puck for Calvin and opened up a lane or two in front of the net. And I think we've definitely seen the physicality pick up, and hopefully it can carry on for both teams.
McLaughlin with a quick pass upwards intended for Allen. Didn't get all of it, so he'll skate off for a change. Replaced by Jordan Camilla, Nash Hatcher, Sheldon Nolan, and Alex Schomburger. Also out there, Cameron Armstrong. Waiting in front of the nets is Christoph Petrila. Bulldogs will look to break out and set things up. Armstrong angled into the wall. Quick moving period as we're at the 7-minute mark in the first frame. Armstrong plays the bounce. Now to Camilla as it popped up, shouldered aside by Schmenkel for a second. There's a little bit of speed from Adamick. Couldn't play it the way he wanted to. Good crunch there from Jammer. Angled Sabenga into the wall. Top of the blue. This puck gets out. Camilla will look to the backhand to spin it the other way. Poole will chase down as Jammer takes a tumble. We'll have to stay on the ice here for an icing. 6:17 left to go in the first period. Adrian College and Calvin University tied at 1 as we sit at the moment. First goal coming from Sebastian Smith for the Bulldogs, and then Kyle Van Duzen just about 2 minutes later. 3:36 and the 5:29 mark.
I think a player to look at for the Bulldogs as well is a change we see on the back end. Number 47, Alex Stromberger, making the change from offense to defense. So I'll be interested to see how his play translates going back to defense here.
Stromberger is one of those dynamic freshmen that head coach Gary Astalos was able to pick up. Made his way over from junior hockey. Played with the Metro Jets of the USPHL. Also stayed in his home state of Michigan for college as he resides from Canton, not too far from here. Justice gave it away to Smith. Not somebody you want to give the puck to. DiGiulio racing towards the front. Ciso had to play it, almost got taken out. DiGiulio, little toe drag there, a little wide. He'll chop for it.
Nifty little pull in there by DiGiulio.
So interesting to see how players nowadays are able to utilize those toe drag shots so much more in their arsenal, as we used to not see them as frequently. And almost every shot, you have to expect it as a netminder because there's so many different things that you can do with the puck nowadays.
As a goaltender yourself, Herms, how does that throw you off, just kind of seeing that change?
And a bad turnover. Calvin takes the lead. Christoph Petrila. 5 minutes left in the first. It's 2-1.
Quick transitional play by Calvin. Through the Bulldogs, another play you just really don't need offensive zone. Taking the puck in front of the net. And Calvin capitalizes on the chance.
And we were just talking about hard to read shots as a netminder. The backhand, a tale as old as time, so unpredictable when it comes off the stick blade. You never really know where it's going to go. Because you can go left, right, down, high, wherever you want. And that one, I think, surprised Noah DeContney's as the Calvin University Knights take a 2-1 lead.
And now, don't get me wrong. I think it's a shot it's used often, but I feel like it's not really seen as much now. So I feel like as a goaltender, that's kind of going to throw you off to get a backhand shot so close in the net.
Absolutely. You're expecting the fastball, and you get a change up there. We'll see how the Bulldogs respond as this puck gets to Hunter Allen. Fires, kick saved by Ciso, recollected there by Adam Hurd. He works his way through, dumped in by Sabenga. Armstrong, now to Spate. Picks up the pace. Leaves it off there for Armstrong. Rips a shot over the glove side of Ciso. Hatcher for Camilla. Armstrong to Hatcher. Had the open net, but just fanned on it. Toth, left side blue. Steps in, fires. In the chest, just goes wide. Ciso got a piece of it. Didn't control it. And it's sent up into the netting.
You see it again, another quality chance for the Bulldogs on defense. Toth with a hard slap shot to the crease. Adrian continuing to use their defense in effective ways this game.
There you see Nash Hatcher. Strong season for the senior. Camilla with a nice win off the draw. Here's a shot. The rebound kicked out. Broken stick down on the play. McLaughlin to Thornton. Rips one into the glove of Ciso as he holds on.
I'd say that's probably one of the deadliest combos I've seen for a wing center pair this season. We've seen Hatcher and Camilla combine on a couple of very nice slip plays in the offensive zone. You can only wonder if they're going to try and pull one this game as well.
Yeah, Slip plays is an understatement. You had that highlight reel goal in the beginning of the year against Ohio. Camilla winning that faceoff through the legs of the Ohio center, right over to Hatcher, who was waiting. Here's McLaughlin. Decides to play it to the corner. Jammer with a backhand pass in front. Van on chance. Another chance. That one wide. Back to the top. Thornton will keep it in. On the backhand, it goes back towards the far side corner. Jammer to Thornton. Has McLaughlin in support. Steps through. Fires. Blocked by a stick there in Schenkel. 2-on-2. Has a long shot. DeContin's played it down with a glove. Here's McLaughlin. Able to dump this in on net. Ciso will have to play it. Able to do so. Jammer sticks it down. A miss pass there. Thought he had the support in Schomburger, who wasn't yet on the ice. Nolan. Off the end wall. Jammer with a nice hit there in front of the Bulldog bench. Here's Justice. Crosses over the blue. Play on sides. Poole looking for the wraparound. Stop there. Don't know if DeContin's got a piece of it or if it dribbled off the stick plate. The turnover. Van Duzen strips it from Weidman. Rips a shot. DeContin's got it with the stick. DeGiulio will skate his way through. Push to the outside. No shot option as he'll rim around for Smith. Bump there along the wall. Sticked into the high glass. Minute 45 left to go in the first period. 3 goals in this frame. 2 for Calvin, 1 for Adrian. Turnover underneath the red. Played up to the top. It's Best, who couldn't handle it. This is wrapped around back low for Adam Hurd. Spates looks to take it away. Work to the near side. Toth. We're going to play it down. Nice effort there from Ernst as he came in contact with Smith. David Dell spun around there on the reversal. Schenkel works it over. Long shot. Blocked in front.
It's one play there where you really got to try and get that puck out, have 2 hands on the stick through the Bulldogs.
Loose puck scramble in front. 30 seconds left to go here in the first. Maybe one more rush for the Bulldogs if they can hurry. This dump-in attempt by Allen sent on. Ciso left the crease there, wide open.
I don't even think he expected Adrian player to get there so fast, kind of panicked.
Here's Allen to McLaughlin. Long shot, sticked away by Ciso. Spates looking for the wraparound, intended for Allen, who goes for a stick check. 5 seconds left to go. 1-on-2. Ix taken down, and that's going to do it for the first period at Arrington Ice Arena. Not the start the Bulldogs, I believe, were expecting, as they're down 2-1 after 20 minutes. A lot to like there from both sides. You had that quick start from Adrian and then the quick response from Calvin. "13 shots for the Bulldogs versus Calvin's 8 as we end the first period. Some strong net minding on both sides. Noah DeContin's has 2 go past him. Carlos Ciso with a couple of really big saves there. If you're the Bulldogs coming into this period down 2-1, what are you looking to adjust for the second period?
I really don't have too many things I would adjust if I was the Bulldogs. I think mainly just comes down to turnovers. We saw on both the Calvin goals, they were turnovers in front of the net. I think that's really the only thing they have to clean up. As we saw, the defense have been a real good factor for the Bulldogs this period. A lot of strong spots for them. So I think for me, it just comes down to turnovers in the D zone.
A strong first period for the number 12 Calvin University Knights. 2-1 after 20 minutes. Alex Herman and Griffin Clark. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
There are so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena. First period gone, second period up and coming. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Alex Herman, joined alongside by Griffin Clark. We've played 20 minutes so far. Score sitting at 2-1 in favor of the visiting Calvin University Knights. What'd you see after 20, Clarky?
I saw a good amount of physicality from both teams that really swayed the game back and forth. I saw a couple of turnovers that we can try and clean up for both teams, especially the Bulldogs here in the D zone. But all in all, I thought it was pretty good first period, a lot of physicality back and forth.
20 minutes will go back onto the score clock. 40 minutes of regulation hockey upcoming. Puck dropped at center ice, and once again we are underway from the AIA. Bulldogs win the opening draw of the frame. Toth with a nice backhand spin move to play it to himself. Gajewski to Smith, over to DeJulia. Shot is blocked into the high netting, stays in, will continue on. Turned over for DeJulio as he field goals one over the top of the crossbar. I like the speed the Bulldogs are coming out with. Schenkel to the front. That one pushed off of DeCottney's glove as he keeps it out. Dell will spin it around. Clears the zone best. We'll have to dump it in.
Seen a real burst of speed we didn't see in the first period. Hopefully the Bulldogs can counter with some more speed against Calvin here.
Smith will gather on the far side as he's pushed into the boards. There's Gajewski. Works his way through now towards the center. Puts a shot on. Ciso with the save. 18:52 left to go in the second period. The Bulldogs certainly have to come out flying this period. It's not often that they're down after a first period. I've only seen it a handful of times in this season and in seasons prior. But always a good reminder that the talent is definitely there for other teams in ACHA D1 play, just like Calvin University.
Yeah, definitely not something we see often for the Bulldogs, but if you're Gary Stiles, I don't really think you're worried here. We've seen a couple chances for the Bulldogs in the start, and I can only imagine that it's just going to get better for them throughout the period.
Every game can't be a perfect one, and sometimes your starts are not as optimal as you anticipate them to. Bulldogs are relentless. Miss pass right there as this puck is flipped up into the neutral ice. Sheldon Nolan gets to it. Worked off of it for a moment. Calvin looks to keep it going. Sent up to the top. Grant with a shot on into the chest of DeCottney's.
I think a bit of it will come down to comfortability too. First 2 minutes of the period, both teams still getting their legs underneath them. I think throughout the period, we'll see a bit more physicality, which we hope will ramp up. And if you're the Bulldogs, you have to imagine they're going to get a couple more chances here soon.
Interesting to note, too, with Noah DeCottney is, along with his 148 goals against average and his 935 save percentage, 15-2 on the season. We mentioned the statistics before for Carlos Ciso, as he's 9-2 on the season. Not often you have two goalies who are playing with so few losses against each other, so after the conclusion of the game, somebody will have their third loss of the season, but still really impressive from both sides.
Real good pinch by Al Schaumburger there on defense.
Thornton to McLaughlin. Shot there, they score! An innocent-looking point shot slips through a crevice, and we're tied at 2.
Defense has been a huge part for the Bulldogs that we've talked about numerous times this game. We see a puck up high, we see a puck over to the defense, and a shot and a tip out front. McLaughlin with a great look and a great tip by Camilla.
How about that redirection in front from Jordan Camilla? That was a little bit of a floater from McLaughlin. I thought that was just going to be kicked aside swiftly. And you never expect those things to happen, but good heads-up play from number 17, Jordan Camilla. Jammer to Weidman. Lost in transition. Here's to Cesare. Breaks his way through. Best will handle this biscuit. And Ix gets it towards the front. Taken away from him on the release. Weidman with good speed now towards the Cesare. Jammer plays it after the offsides. Best will spin it around. Now towards the top. To Schenkel. Calvin doing a great job of angling pucks into the boards, I'd like to think. But here goes to Julio with a little bit of space. The shot saved by Ciso. The rebound couldn't be taken advantage of. Looked like the Knights were going to come away with a 3-on-2, but they pulled up at the last second. The Julio, nice toe drag. And a second good move moves it for Smith. Gajewski on the backhand to Smith. Unintentionally plays it back to Gajewski, but it's taken away from him. Sabenga. Easy stick save for the Cottonies. And he'll hold on for the whistle. 53 left to go in the second period.
We started to see a bit more to Blake Weidman as this game's gone on, and man, has he been effective for the Bulldogs, using that blazing speed he has, as we saw in that chance with Mateo DiGiulio as he burst down the slot, possibly getting a chance there. And I think his physicality has also been a real driving force for the Bulldogs this game, kind of swaying chances back and forth.
Blake Weidman playing 20 games this year. Transfer student, he's a freshman. Put up 71 points last year for the Kitchener-Waterloo Siskins in the GOJHL. 39 goals and 32 assists for that total of 71. So you can expect him to be a force as the years progress. Sheldon Nolan back to Schaumburger. Schaumburger to Mins. Touch pass for Spate. Galloping along. Opens up to the forehand. To Schaumburger, who's waiting for it. Walks the blue, sends back down low for Spate. Up for Nolan. Here's a shot. Ciso with the glove.
You touched on the freshman a little bit earlier, and kind of, you know, every time a college brings in a new freshman class, you kind of think you're going to have a couple real standouts here and there. But honestly, through this Adrian freshman class, I can't say I've seen one player that really doesn't belong in that top spot. They kind of all just really, really help with their production, especially we've seen Blake Weidman, as we just talked about recently. That blazing speed he has and the grit he plays with is just exactly what the Bulldogs need.
Gajewski, a quick shot. Fought off by Ciso. And I'd have to agree with you, Griffin. Every year the Bulldogs bring in a new freshman class. You kind of wonder yourself, how's it going to get better than last year? And somehow, some way, it always does. And it's just a testament to how well Coach Gary Astalos and Doug Raymond are able to recruit. Here's a 2-on-2. DiGiulio, quick save by Ciso. That's a fantastic stop from Carlos Ciso as he tracked it all the way into the glove. Never an easy play to get a drop pass followed by a one-timer in the slot. Played it to a T.
And we can see DiGiulio getting a little bit of frustration here as Ciso has had his number, honestly, this game a little bit, but DiGiulio with a number of great chances.
Bulldogs have to look to creative plays to try and find their way to the back of the net. Breakaway from Sebastian Smith was a good first opening goal. And then Camilla had to wizard the puck on a redirect. It's pretty obviously to see you're not going to be able to beat CISO clean, so throw some bodies in front and hopefully you can pick up some bounces.
Yeah, for the Bulldogs, you got to see here, you're not always going to get those fancy opportunities, and McLaughlin with just a great shot from the point, Camilla in front. I think it's going to come down to getting those gritty goals for the Bulldogs here, as CISO is very solid on his feet.
Toth with a pass to Hatcher as it oversteps the blue. They'll have to restart. Backstrom intercepts, but shoved out of the way by Camilla. Along the way, this is over for Dell. Now to Hatcher. Toth. Backs up for a moment, puts it in reverse. Will now skate forward. Camilla with a nice blind pass to Armstrong. Outside is Hatcher. They'll look to do it again. Schomburger. Nolan dumps in. Line change there. Weidman looks to pick this off. Off the boards, Nolan with a backhander that looks to get out. Weidman skates his way through. Shot on, but that one wide. A little bit of contact there on Carlos Ciso. Riordan. Here go the Knights. Ernst for cramps and a save from DeCottney's.
One of the easier to saves DeCottney is going to have to make on the night. A little saucer pass right to the chest.
.43 left to go in the second period. 2-2 hockey game, as here goes Sam Spates. He's got some room. Looks for the nifty move, but moved hard wide. Thornton with a shot. In front was Allen. Tried to get the tip off of midair. In transition. Good step up there from McLaughlin to break things up. And I've been impressed from the Calvin defenders who have been able to really move the Bulldogs to the outside lanes when they start to make their rushes into the offensive zone. It's one thing to let your opponents into the danger areas like that center slot. And they've done a great job of limiting that, in my opinion.
I can definitely agree with you on that, Herms. We've seen the Calvin defense really push the Bulldogs to the outside. I think Adrian's got to try and get a little simple here. We've seen him try and make a couple nifty moves to the middle and it not pan out too well for him, but Calvin has actually very impressed me this game so far with their defensive effort.
This has to be one of the more underrated rosters in ACHA D1 play in the number 12 Calvin University Knights. They've had a successful season, 16-4-3 through their 23 games. Not a bad stat line.
Definitely not something to look past if you're the Bulldogs.
That shot was tipped high into the netting. But you cannot take your opponents lightly for Adrian College. Foot has to be on the gas pedal at all times. This is worked back to the top of the circle. Adamick keeps it in, but loses it to Smith. Has Gajewski along the wing. Looks for Dell, but it's taken away by the stick of Van Duzen. Contneys couldn't play the rim. Chopped and gloved down. Dell will force it forward. Both teams struggling a little bit to hold on and set up. As we near the 10-minute mark, this period I feel like has been going a lot slower than the first two. More pace of play in that first 20 minutes. Felt like it was a blink and we were at the 7-minute mark.
Bulldogs definitely struggling to get some clean touches here. We've seen them in the defensive zone for a little bit. Neutral zone's kind of getting a bit murky for them here and there, but we just talked about it a little bit ago. Calvin defense has been very impressive this game, and I think the Bulldogs are definitely an offensive team that, you know, most teams fear, but Calvin does not seem to be fazed by them.
Schaumburger with a shot. Picks up his own rebound at the top of the point. Hatcher will have to wait to dump in. Adam Hurd sticks it aside. Hatcher. Quick pass for Nolan. Nolan to Hatcher. Off his stick. Stephen Ix pulls up. Dishes to center and lost it. Camilla one-on-one. Fires into the glove. And Ciso had it, but he dropped it. Officials thought that he had full control. So he was awarded the whistle. Face-off would have been at the same zone anyway, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. Bulldogs get this back off the face-off. McLaughlin with a shot and a save once again by Ciso. 20th he's seen here tonight. Feels like a lot more than 20 shots.
That it does, Herms, especially not 12, just for Calvin. Almost seems as if they've been in the offensive zone quite a bit.
A little easier to say, too, when you take a 2-1 lead. So the offense feels a lot larger than your shot total. But tied at 2, we are with the Bulldogs and the Knights. As Thornton will play this. Got a stick on his blade that interfered. Jammer. Weidman looking for the tip. And a big shoulder there from Jammer as that shot taken off the top of the crossbar. Thornton spins one on. Ciso covers up.
Better get off the tracks, Herms. That's all I can say about Justin Jammer right there. Man, is he a force to reckon with.
Bulldogs don't have too many 6-footers, but their big men are certainly big. Justin Jammer, 6'3", 210 pounds, the sophomore from Nepean, Ontario. Amazing to think he's only in his second year. Skates and plays like a weathered veteran.
And he definitely does play at that 6'3" height. He uses his physicality very well.
Toth leaves it for Dell. In and out of the glove of Ciso, but he made the stop. Mins surveys the land. High shot off the top of the glove. Allen with a stutter step. Mins is right there. Hard shots from Toth. Whistles wide. Dell got a hit along the boards. Riordan tries to play it. This is all the way down, and the icing with 7:57 left to go in the second period. Alex Herman and Griffin Clark here on ACTV. You've been watching Bulldog hockey tonight from the Arrington Ice Arena. Happy to have you all join us from wherever you may be watching this evening.
Ciso has been very effective for Calvin in this game, but I almost wonder what's going on this period. He hasn't been able to find pucks off the blocker and the glove and the pads too often so far. I've seen a lot of bounces for the Bulldogs, and they've been able to almost capitalize on a couple staying in front of that net.
What it looks like to me is Adrian is trying to send more traffic in front of his eyes so they can take away his sight of vision. And as a netminder, life becomes a lot more difficult when you can't see the puck as clearly, so you can't make saves as cleanly as you might want to, as this is tried to sent over for DiGiulio, but quickly taken away. Ethan Best tried to leave it for Schenkel. DiGiulio uses his frame. Ciso way out. Small backhand pass to the corner. Gajewski sends some fists flying. Gajewski with some stick handles along the outside. Back to Smith. Tipped high. Schomburger goes for a jump. 2-on-1. This is moved over. Sent the other way. And it goes wide. Bulldogs got away with one. That was a good 2-on-1 chance. As we'll get the icing. Bulldogs thought they were going to have enough time to change, but they're stopped quickly by the officials.
You can see Schenkel put his head to the rafters on that one, thought he had his teammate back door. Not much you can really do on that one with such a quick opportunity and quick chance, split-second opportunity.
Not a bad option to go for the cross crease on a 2-on-1. DiGiulio couldn't get anything going on that rush. Good pass diagonally upwards, and a quick shot bobbled for a second by DeContenys, but he holds on nonetheless.
See DiGiulio pleading his dismay to the refs right now in that hooking. Feels as if he was stopped from being offensive zone there.
You know, and I don't disagree with him on that. He was making the rush, and it looked like gotten a little bit of a backwards hug and a stick across the chest as he was trying to work his way through the neutral zone. But at the end of the day, officials in charge of the calls as we continue 5-on-5.
It's one thing you definitely can't argue with, and I feel like they oftentimes will let it be kind of, I guess you could say, soft. You know, sometimes they'll call it, sometimes they won't. I think in that opportunity they really wouldn't, just because it wasn't a high-stakes opportunity, but I can definitely see where he's coming from on that one.
Here's Thornton with a shot. The redirection, loose in front. Nobody could tap it home. What a nice play from Camilla. Played that through his legs on the backhand. Now back towards the top, reaching for it was Thornton. Couldn't get the distance that he was looking for. Thornton with his head up. Going for a skate, rips a shot that was blocked off the shin pad of Holden Pratt. Weidman with a wraparound. Thornton, soft backhander there. As McLaughlin gets the change for Dell. DeContenys will come out to stop it.
And that shot, once again, coming from the point, Herms, you see a very good tip in front by Camilla. Defense has been very smart this game for the Bulldogs.
Jammered to the Cesare. No dice. Dell with a shot. Kick save from Ciso. Sent back the other way. Tipped high, kept in by Toth. Left side face-off circle. Weidman, shot, save from Ciso. And there's going to be a penalty on this play. I believe it's going to go against Calvin as Stephen Ix is pleading his case. And it is indeed a slashing call, so Ix will have to sit for 2 minutes. 4:30 remaining in the second period. First penalty of the contest as the Bulldogs head to the Hungry Howie's power play. Bulldogs 21 for 50 on the power play at 42%. As Smith will work this over quickly to Julio with the redirection. It's a power play goal, and it's 3-2 Bulldogs.
Just a bang-bang play for the Bulldogs here. And talked about it a couple minutes ago, DeJulio, you can see he had his head up in the rafters a couple of times, just real upset with Ciso on this one, and gets the best of him here.
Quick shot work to the outside. Smith right over to the center slot and make that 22 out of 51 on the power play for the Bulldogs.
A really smart play by Smith here to get that off so quick. Not much time and space, but does what he can with it.
The first lead for the Bulldogs in this contest. We went 1-0 to 1-1, 2-1 for Calvin. Bulldogs had to play catch-up. They tied it, and now they're up by a tally.
I think we've seen a bit of a sway in this game as the Knights have only tallied one shot in the last couple minutes, and Bulldogs really seeming to ramp up their play here in the offensive zone.
This is what the Bulldogs do best. Under pressure, they take it to all of their opponents as best as they can. Good strategy, great coaching, and all those guys on the bench support each other. Spate with a shot, travels high, blocked by a shin pad. Over for Allen as he takes it away. Long shot in the chest of Ciso.
Allen with that long-range shot, trying to catch Ciso off.
Calvin, with only 5 shots this period, had 8 in the first. And sitting at 13 now, as they'll skate it down towards the front. Chopped out of midair. DeJulio, the recent goal scorer, gets it to Toth. Back to DeJulio. Up top is Dell. Quick shot, blocker to side. Smith picks up to the backhand. Taken down there. I don't know if he caught an edge or caught a stick in his feet. But we continue on. David Dell with 2:27 left to go in the second.
One thing we've really seen is Smith pick up his physicality this game, especially in the corners. Definitely a new role for him so far this game.
Not somebody that you see play the physical game as much, known more for a facilitator on the skill side of things. But I have to agree with you, Griff. He's done a great job of laying the body down when he's had to, protects the puck very well, and supporting his teammates in the corner. Joshua Tack in his own end with a miscalculated bounce pass. The Cesare gets on top of it, works his way, spins a shot, blocked by Tack. Up top, McLaughlin. Opens up for Thornton. Back to McLaughlin. Fires high and redirected out of midair. Went straight down. Another tip in front for the Bulldogs. The Cesare steps in. Receives it in the right corner. Over for Weidman. Quick shot there. Dribbles. And the rebound picked up at the last second by Nick Justice. And another chance. Weidman scores. 4-2, Adrian College.
Weidman found his home in the slot on this one. Just a really good opportunity by Weidman, and he capitalizes. We find him just sitting there, just sitting, waiting for that opportunity, and a good pick over by the Bulldogs.
A gift in the slot for Blake Weidman, and he takes full advantage of the Christmas gift.
He's another player just like DeJulio in this game that you had a feeling he had one coming for him here soon. Just really good offensive play for both of them so far.
Bulldogs now up by a pair. Ix with a backhand save by DeContin's with the right shoulder. He covers up there. And Ducotny's irate. Here we go. The officials are pointing for a goal, possibly. Unless they're just signaling for a penalty. Absolute mayhem. What's going to transpire here?
I think we'll see one from each team, or possibly just Camilla go for the Bulldogs now. Don't necessarily blame him, as Calvin came in late on that play with an extra whack onto Kanye, and Camilla came to his side to defend. Looks like we're only gonna get one out of the scrum here. My only conclusion out of that is just because Camilla kind of went after the head there of Calvin's player, but not much to blame.
.56 to go, and it's Jordan Camilla who was sent to the box. Looked like the officials had signaled for a goal for a second, but it was something else. So the Knights with a late power play. Justice, quick shot, redirection there, bounced off of Sabenga. Back to Justice up top. Walks the blue. Towards the right corner. Gets it right back up top at center. Shot goes over, blocked into the netting. .20 seconds. Tick off that power play. Ix fans on it. Lost it all the way down.
Here, Calvin, you're hoping to have a little more patience on your power plays. Not one you get too often on the Bulldogs, and
here
want
goes
to take advantage
Sabenga.
of it.
Looked like he was gonna make a break for the front of the net. 15 seconds to go. Quick one-time drive. Thornton blocked it, gloved away. Jammer steps back, and it's whistled for a hand pass. Don't know if I fully agree with that one or not, but the officials made the call. 9.5 left to go in the second period.
Can't say that I saw much of a hand pass there. I think he was just kind of swatting for the puck.
One back by the Bulldogs. Spate with the W in the circle. 3 seconds to go. And they look to clear as the horn sounds, ending the second period. A little bit different of a result for the Bulldogs here in this frame. Came in at 2-1, and then 3 unanswered goals for the Bulldogs as they skate into the third period, up 4-2. As we look to the ice, a little bit of chirping going on. What'd you like from the Bulldogs after 40 minutes?
We touched on it a lot during that period as the defense remained in the offensive zone. We saw the third goal for the Bulldogs come in that slot opportunity from a tip, and I think that's what really came through from this period. I think the defense had really good eyes from the top, and all in all, I saw a lot of really good things from the Bulldogs so far.
4-2 the score after 40 minutes. Adrian College and Calvin University. Alex Herman as well as Griffin Clark here tonight. You've been watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV. Don't go anywhere. Third period coming up after the break.
There are so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Welcome back inside Arrington Ice Arena. Thursday night hockey in Adrian, Michigan. Third period getting set and ready to go. Alex Herman and Griffin Clark here on ACTV. Happy to have you all rejoin us. A big period for the Bulldogs. Came down at the start of it at 2-1. 3 unanswered goals. As where we sit, 4-2. The score after 40 minutes of play. Ethan McLaughlin, Mateo DiGiulio, as well as Blake Wyman getting the tallies. How do we feel heading into the third period?
I'm feeling pretty good if I'm the Bulldogs right now, up 4-2. We've seen a lot of really good looks from the defense, McLaughlin especially. I don't really see much to change so far. I think we just need to clean up a couple turnovers here and there, but for the most part, really good effort for the Bulldogs.
We'll see what happens here as we get set to take the draw at center ice. 20 minutes back on the score clock. And once again, we are underway from the AIA. The Knights will start this frame on the power play for the next 55 seconds and counting. This is cycled down low. Ix will get to it. Slowly walking around with it as he leaves it for Justice. Back to Ix. Long shot, save in front. Might have hit a body. The rebound loose. A second attempt. DeConte's on his back. And he covers it up on the goal line.
Well, it looked like the Bulldogs were struggling to get the puck out there. Must be a little bit of water down there in the corners or something, because weren't able to get a clean touch right there.
Puck was bouncing around quite a whole lot. Well, good recovery from Noah DeConte's.
Really good effort by him right there.
Back the other way, it's Sabenga. Rips one that goes wide. Petrila. Backhand pass, 15 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4 as the puck gets tangled up in the outside. And it's lifted down the length of the ice. Ciso stops it on the backhand. Bulldogs back to full strength. 5-on-5 hockey. Towards the front, nice hit there from Dell. As the puck was sent up into the high netting.
Dell really caught Riordan off guard there. Didn't expect him to stand him up.
Pick up here from Cy Toth. Stretch pass, batted down for Smith. Little backhand pass there, and Camilla sent a little bit of a poke check on Ciso. Met with a small face wash.
Toth, one of those players that's a little underrated on the back end for the Bulldogs, and so far this game, he's real valiant effort for them on defense.
Julio looks to win this draw. Unable to do so as Hurd will wrap it around. Another hit there in front of the bench on Thornton as we're all stop and start this period. Again, puck into the netting. 18-16 left to go in the third period.
Thornton seems to be fine after the hit, but I don't know if that's one that you necessarily need to make right there, Herms. When you got a player low on the ice like that, scrambling for the puck, I think you got to give him a little leeway there and let him up.
McLaughlin dumps in. Ciso will wave off the icing. DiGiulio Backhand to forehand in transition. 2-on-2 tie up in the left corner. Smith to one hand, trying to fight his way for it. Taking off possession for a moment. Knights strip it away. And down in pain is Smith.
Caught a stick right up high in the throat.
Yeah.
He's struggling to breathe.
I didn't see it as it was behind the play. It was focused on where the puck was. The Bulldogs letting the officials know that there might have been a missed call there. Never a good sign when you see a player go down that hard.
Especially one of your top guys. Definitely seemed to be a little bit of a retaliatory play, but behind the play, refs aren't really going to see it there.
Good shot block from Spate. Calvin looking to pick up the physical presence. On top of the circle is Mins. Nolan, D-to-D for Schomburger. Fires in the glove of Ciso. And Allen with some extra drawing. This game certainly has some life in it.
Nick's not taking a liking to Allen right now. I wonder if anything's going to come from that throughout the rest of the game.
That'll be an interesting matchup for sure. Not somebody that you want to go against in Hunter Allen.
Two physical players for each team. He's definitely provided that grit on and off throughout the game that I think Styles was really looking for him to bring in as brought him into the second semester.
Weidman with that shot. Will get it back again. Fires just barely wide. He's been on point with his shooting attempts. Nolan pulls up, fires into the glove of Ciso as he sent a shove there, and we're going to get a scrap in front. Top of the crease, players throwing haymakers. Absolute chaos. Bodies are tied up, and finally it's calmed down. Jammer losing his bucket. Weidman still going at it.
Getting a dig from Ciso there is Weidman.
Weidman is tied up with Captain Jacob Sabenga. Both sides absolutely irate.
Better not see the Bulldogs go down here. I think it's got to go both ways, Herms.
Jammer first to the box. I'm sure there'll be somebody else for Calvin University.
It seemed like an honest play there. I think Jammer kind of had some antics in front of the net, which Ciso did not take kindly to, and then we saw a couple of jabs after the play, and players continue to go at it from the box as they are not pleased with each other.
Hearing it too from the AIA faithful, and I'm sure a top as well at the Wow Cafe in Erie. Never easy to come into the Arrington Ice Arena and have the Wow Warriors sitting on top of you.
That's one thing I think Adrian really has above most teams is the Wow Warriors, as they call them, is tough to come in and play as a road team when you have some chirps coming from down the bench, but kind of catch you off guard every once in a while. Often get some laughs from up there as well. I feel as if Calvin should go down one more here at least, as we saw hands go straight to the face from the Calvin defenders and rip a helmet off, but it looks as if we're just going to go one aside.
Julio is being escorted as well to the box. And the Knights on the power play now.
So we'll go 5-on-4 here. Julio with the extra 2.
Calvin wins it back. Here's a quick shot blocked by Spate. Boys on the bench love it. Thornton locking it up in the corner with his foot. As it's played to Ix. Right back, he gets it and lost it to Spate. Got held up with a stick. And Spate taken down once more.
if we're calling the game even here, Herms, I think that's a, yep, that's going to be a hooking.
No, this is
Oh, they're calling another player.
unsportsmanlike conduct is going to go against Nick Justice.
I don't think I saw the call.
So what once was a power play will now go to 4-on-4 for the next minute and 31 seconds. And then the Bulldogs, barring any changes, will have 30 seconds of 5-on-4 power play time. Toth, left side, Dell, fires, blocker save from Ciso. David Dell with a backhand pass. Petrila lost it to Dell. He fights for it. Good effort from him. Toth bolts one for Smith. Now towards the front, looking for the redirection was to Cesare. Knights will look to get out. Stephen Icks, seen the puck on his blade quite frequently.
It's 4-on-4 right now, Hearns, but Bulldogs really making good use of this open space. Almost looks like it's a 6-on-4 for the Bulldogs here.
Here goes Smith. Little toe drag move, kick save made by Ciso, and the Force kicks it out of the zone. Van Duzen goes to chase it down. Gajewski knocking it out of midair. Nice pass for Spate, but it's tipped right before it got to him. Good pull up from Spam Spate once again. McLaughlin to Thornton. Looking for McLaughlin once again. Plays it himself. Out to the boards. Here's Thornton. 3 seconds left in the Bulldog penalty as they'll head to the power play for the next 27 seconds. Here's Gajewski. Nice move towards the front. Scores! Cracked for 250 Shield, and it's 5-2 Bulldogs.
Gajewski with an absolute ripper from the slot. Adrian making that their home all game, honestly. Gajewski coming down the wing and flying through. It's a really good shot through the middle from him. Adrian takes good care of that quick power play.
The speed from Dylan Gajewski. Gotta watch out for him as he snipes that one low glove. And the Bulldogs on top by 3. 5-2 with 14-14 left to go in the third period. It's been all offense since the second period here at the Arrington Ice Arena.
And Calvin really giving Adrian a lot of leeway in that slot area, as we've seen.
Camilla with a hard hit along the wards. Ernst steps in and sends it back the other way. Chasing it is Pratt. Skating is Justice, fresh out of the box. Armstrong with the takeaway. Worked into the boards, given up for Cramps. Icks, nice move, shut down well by David Dell. Camilla skates his way through.
It's a bit of a late hit by Icks there on Calvin.
Camilla frustrated with that, but he'll have to swallow his words as he gets back to the bench, gets the reassurance from his teammates on the bench. Spate into Julio, just making sure he knows he's all good.
I continue to like the play from Schaumburger and Dell on the back end. As we said before, Schaumburger filling in that spot on D, and Dell on that 4-on-4 was really effective in the offensive zone, and Schaumburger with a good step up there on the blue line.
This long pass whistled down for icing. Dell to Toth. Pulls up. Sends one on. That goes wide. Backstrom. Gave it away. Toth couldn't collect it, but was able to use enough force to push it towards the boards. David Dell to Toth. Dogs will wait to set their pieces in play. Toth to DeCesare. Some hacking and whacking. We got another scrap in front. DeCesare and Jagielski. I think both players are going to go here.
Jagielski with a real unnecessary horse collar there on DeCesare, and I guess in my unbiased personal opinion, I wouldn't call DeCesare on this one. I think it's all Jagielski.
At this point, if you're a Bulldog, you have to know that the Calvin players are going to try and get under your skin to see what they can generate. DeCesare being sent out of the box.
I think that's the right call, Herms.
So we'll see if it's a power play for the Bulldogs. And that's what it seems to be.
I think the refs are also doing a little bit of kind of just calling anything at this point with the physicality really picking up there. I don't think they're going to let much go.
.12:21 left to go in the third period. Head coach for the Knights, Mike Petrusma, will get some explanations from the officials and we'll continue on. 5-on-4. DeGiulio, DeCesare, and Gajewski the forward line. Nolan and Smith on the back end. Quick shot there was blocked by Gajewski. Nolan touches up on the backhand to Gajewski. Dropped for Nolan. He steps in, down low to Cesare. The one-timer settles wide. Smith will pick it back up. Kept in by Nolan. Atop the left. Smith to Julio, who will switch places. Quick shot there. Kicked aside by Ciso. Smith right back to it. They'll continue the offense. To Cesare. Hold on to a bouncer. Gajewski fires a quick one. In between the feet. Played through the legs of Ciso. And it couldn't be held on to. Knights will clear and kill off the first minute of their penalty. Sam Spate, nice move. Plays it to Weidman, great feed. Shot, they score! Blake Weidman, his second of the night, and it's a power play goal.
Spate with just a really clean in-zone effort. We see him come down the wall and just dish it right to Weidman in the middle. And Weidman has been a player that has been hunting that slot area all game for the Bulldogs. And where do we see him on this goal? In the slot, just where he belongs. Just a really good play by the Bulldogs here.
Give the Dogs some space and pay the price. 6-2 with 11-11 in the third period. We said it on the last one. Always good to remind the masses. All gas here through the second and the third period.
And Calvin stayed with the Bulldogs for most of this game, Herms. And I think this last honest period and a half has been all Bulldogs. Just because Calvin's really been giving them way too much room in the slot and almost giving them just too much respect.
There's a low chance for Hatcher. Couldn't generate the wraparound as he's tripped up. I think it was an unintentional stick play from Ciso. And Hatcher's going to get called here as he gave a little bit of a love tap to Ciso. Slashing is the signal. Hatcher doesn't like it, but the official was standing right there. So Calvin will now get their chance at the 5-on-4 man advantage.
Calvin's gotten a couple chances recently in this third period with the power playing Didn't know much about him going into it, but I haven't seen too much really that's been impressive for Calvin so far, and Adrian's really shut them down on penalty kill so far.
Knights look to win that draw. They couldn't at first. When it's picked up down low as DeContney is forced to cover up. Everybody tangled with one another. Interwoven yellow and maroon sweaters.
Almost a Minnesota Golden Gophers look, especially with the gold buckets.
Good observation there. I didn't even think of that at first, but now I see it.
If you saw him from behind, honestly, I'd get him mistaken.
Absolutely. It could be a very similar jersey style, aside from the center lettering and crest. Those Minnesota jerseys only have the large M on the front with no wording. .30 seconds gone, just about in the power play. Thornton forces the play towards the outside. Potential wraparound, doesn't go. This plays for Schenkel towards the front. Schenkel fanned on it. Had it atop the crease. Couldn't get it to go in his favor. Thornton, nice takeaway, taken down. Got hit there, so no call.
Brody Thornton with a really good second effort there, and up 6-2 at the end of the game. You really got to protect your lead, and that's exactly what you need.
Tied up in front of the box. Nolan gets it to McLaughlin. Soccer kick from Graham. Cleared out. And too many men on the ice for Calvin. They're going to get called down here. They're going to get a man to the box.
That's just a penalty you can't have at this level, Herms. You really got to be watching how many guys are sending on the ice. Bite you at the wrong time.
Late in the game, too, you're already on a power play. Trying to see if you can find any last little bit of momentum. And that's certainly going to hurt, because after the Hatcher penalty expires, it'll give the Bulldogs more time on the power play. Not a position that you want to be in. Nonetheless, Christoph Petrila will skate it up. Left off for Ix. Over for McLaughlin along the near side. Weidman, 2 goals in the game so far. Shot, Ciso with the glove.
I'm okay with that shot from Weidman. I typically don't want to see that out of angle of a shot, but Ciso's been letting in some strange goals, and I think anything, you just shoot anything on him right now. You never know what'll go in.
This is worked around for Stephen Ix. Man, have we seen Stephen Ix quite a lot in this game. Every other shift, it feels like he's out there.
It's a name we've said quite often, Herms, and he's been really effective for them. And I guess recently you could say he hasn't been getting the chances he wants, but his name is getting brought up every shift.
Minute and 8 seconds of power play time. Nolan getting the call to resets. He does so. Waits for reinforcements. Gets it over for the captain, Matteo DiGiulio. He breaks his way in. Shot goes high. Traveling to the corner. Over for Gajewski now. Left side hash marks. The one-time drive. Save from Ciso. Good shot from Matteo DiGiulio. Knights are able to clear down.
I don't think he got as much on that as he wanted to, and boy, if he did, that would be right in the top shelf.
Here goes Smith. Nice move from him. Plays it on the forehand. Nolan looking for a pass up top, but it's over for Cesare as he lost control. Adam Hurd tried to get it out. Gajewski playing with it. Lost it in the corner. 3 seconds to go in the 5-on-4 as we return to even strength 5-on-5 as Aiden Adamick fresh out of the box. Long pass whistled for icing. hard icing to take right after the end of a penalty. You're hoping the conclusion of that will allow you to get some time to get fresh legs out.
A little bit of awkward timing too, just with your player coming out of the box, trying to ice it as the penalty is about to expire, and just gets caught at the wrong time, unfortunately.
Both sides fighting for it as Schenkel will skate behind McLaughlin. A takedown there in the corner on Cy Toth. Sidestep from McLaughlin to Mins. Over to Allen. Turns up. Here's a shot. 6 save from Ciso. Didn't get it clean. Mins with a chance. Bar down! Upstairs. 7-2 Bulldogs. Caleb Mins. Check out this shot.
That play started from Hunter Allen, breaking that puck in and following the defense throughout behind the net, making him uncomfortable, and Mins once again Herms in the slot, right where mama hides the cookies, as they say. Really good shot from Mins.
6:28 left to go in the third period, and this one just about getting away from the visiting side as the Bulldogs take a 5-goal lead and scored 7 in a row. Cramps hit hard by Jammer, and he's going to get called for this for an elbow. But Jammer absolutely lined up Noah Cramps.
I think the word to describe Calvin the second half of this game has just been uncomfortable. Adrian has made them very uncomfortable in their own zone, and they just did theirs, we saw, and was the prime reason for that goal.
Back to the power player of the Knights. Long shot, easy save from DeCottney. Watched it all the way into the glove. 18 shots being sent his way. Only the 4th of this period. 6 in the last one, 8 in the first.
Adrian continuing to really control that shot column.
Spate looking for the takeaway. Justice pushes over in the slot. Nobody knows where it is as the shot goes wide off the stick of Petrila. Petrila towards the backhand. Up top is Justice, fakes the slapper. Gets it right back. Hunted down by Hatcher. Plays him well. Forces him to make a pass. Van Dusen looking for a shot to be tipped. Spate will step up. The redirection goes wide. Nolan ties up his man underneath the red. Puck pops out. Thornton clears. Hatcher thought about going to skate it down. Decides to get a change instead. Likely the right decision for him. Long shot there. Off the outside of the net area. Stomped along the wall. Dell with a good shove. Now to Barron. Armstrong spinning and is able to clear it down. Schenkel to the outside. Long shot, another clean save from DeCottney's as he reaches the 20-shot mark. 4:15 left to go in the third period. Alex Herman and Griffin Clark here on ACTV. You've been watching Bulldog hockey. Adrian College the #1 student-ran broadcasting company in the country. Take a quick time to shout out tonight's crew: Adrian Miklachuk, myself, Alex Herman, Connor Atwell, our great director Dakota Schneider, Gino Capioni, Griffin Clark, and Logan Harmon, all putting in the work here today. Flip pass, lands on the stick of Gajewski, and Julio overskated. Offsides is the call.
Adrian with another really solid penalty kill. Throughout the night, they've just swarmed the Calvin offense, and I don't think I saw them really get one chance on that power play as Adrian comes up on the good side once again.
Long shot there, save from Ciso.
Really good deceiving play from DeJulio there.
Oh, and watch out behind the play. Smith is tangled up with Holden Pratt, and finally they separate. Backstrom tried to step up. Here's Gajewski. Shot is blocked.
You know, Herms, I have to say, I like this side of Smith. We've seen him play really physical this game, and going after a couple players that shift, you don't see him play physical too often, but man, does it suit him.
There's Caleb Mins, the recent goal scorer. Will muscle it back down low. Yeah, we definitely mentioned it before. Sebastian Smith, not noted for his physicality. Great stick handler and shooter, as well as passer.
It's another thing to add to that arsenal of his. We got a helmet off in the corner of Hunter Allen.
I don't know if we're going to see a penalty here. It looked like an arm had come up for a moment. This has been a fiery one from Arrington Ice Arena.
And Allen, one player that is certainly not going to back down from that Calvin team, as we see right now, John back and forth. I think that was just an innocent battle in the corner, and helmet came off for the Bulldogs.
Mins tries to get right back to it. Good step up there as he sent a player into the box. That was Stempfel, who got redirected into his own bench. And Ciso, once again, will follow up with a save. Can only imagine what's going to happen in this second meeting this week, the next time these two teams square off this Saturday, January 27th at 5:30 over at Calvin University's arena. Day of rest, and then one-day road trip as Nolan's shot held on to by Ciso.
Well, I think Adrian's going to go in there with a little bit extra swagger. As you see right now, if it stands this way, they'll go into Calvin with a 7-2 victory today. And if you're Calvin, you want to win in your own barn, but it definitely hurts coming back losing 7-2.
Draw kicked back for Nolan. Played on the redirect, doesn't go. Graham sent out to it. Kept in from Nolan. And a hard hit there from Ix on Armstrong. Bodies flying everywhere. Schomburger with a drive. Weidman got his stick checked out of his hands. Goes to retrieve it. Graham. Nice angling hit there as he sent down Itradis hard. As this is tipped again from Weidman. Man, how many times are we going to see Weidman in front try and get a loose tip?
He's been all over the front of the net and slot today. I don't know what's gotten into him, but he has made that his home and his staple this game, and I love him there.
Petrila, long drive, save from Ducatnes. He'll hold on with 1:21 seconds left to go in the third period, and there you see Noah Ducatnes. Starting goalie for the Bulldogs for most of the games this season. third year here at Adrian College. The junior from Calgary, Alberta.
You know, I've mentioned Smith a couple times in the physicality department, but Adrian as a whole really has picked up this game. And in general, they like to hit, but not as much as we've seen this game. And I think that's what's really separated them and Calvin this game and getting those
Hatcher
chances.
with a drive, saved by Ciso. Went for an extra poke there after the whistle. We'll see if anything comes out of this.
Got to try and play smart if you're both teams with a minute left in the game. Don't want anything rolling into next game penalty-wise.
Minute and 6 seconds left to go here in the third period. Man, has it been a wild ride on this Thursday night edition of ACHA hockey. Works back to the top. McLaughlin opens up. Saucer pass to the corner. Graham. Good edge work. Quick shot from Thornton. Paddle down with Ciso. Didn't know where it was, but he knew he made the save. As that puck was sent into the metal beam rafters.
Adrian College with a very dominant performance this game, Herms, on Calvin. And you know, at the start, I don't know that I would have predicted as a 7-2 score, but man, did they emerge late in this game.
Baxton with a last-second effort. He's motored hard into the Adrian College bench. Camilla trying with the sidestep. Hunter Allen picks up his feet. Weidman, soft shot there. 5 seconds to go. Knights will rush up once again, and a long shot. Van Duzen ties up with Camilla. Weidman tries to break things up. Officials step in, and that's gonna do it. Horn sounds, 60 minutes of hockey played. Bulldogs walk away with the 7-2 win over GLCHL rival Calvin University. And that was a dominant effort by the Bulldogs as they close this one out. Lot to like from both sides, and obviously these two teams face off one more time this week on Saturday. If you're Calvin going into that game, what's going to be the adjustment?
Physicality, and I think offensive play. We saw the physicality kind of sway their way in the beginning, and Adrian really took advantage in the second half, as well as power plays. I don't think Calvin was very solid on their power plays at all. I think those two and maybe a little bit of passing work, and I think hopefully they'll try and come out with a better effort.
Bulldogs pick up their 24th win of the season at a score of 7-2 over the Calvin University Knights. Alex Herman and Griffin Clark signing off for this evening. You've been watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.